This video is brought to you by my Teespring store. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a Teespring store where you can go purchase some awesome merchandise to help support me and the channel and allow me to continue doing what I love and sharing with you some awesome content. And for the month of December, we have limited time content on the Teespring store for you guys. One is the Claus image, which is drawn by Hannah herself. You can get some awesome merchandise with this cute little Claire in her Santa outfit. Again, that's limited time. It goes away after Christmas. And you also, for a limited time, get the Santa Shogun or Shogun Claus image drawn by Jay. That is brand new this year. It is on a limited number of items and is available, just like the Claus image, through Christmas. Make sure that you get that while you can, because it will go away after December. And for the next 2 weeks, for all my fans out there, if you use the promo code NOEL, that's N-O-E-L, NOEL, at purchasing for any of these Christmas related items, you will get 10% off of your purchase. Please consider going by the Teespring store. The link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much. Anything you buy really helps me out in the channel, and it will really be an awesome gift for me and for y'all this holiday season. So with all that out of the way, let's get on to the video. Christmas time's here, guys. I love Christmas time. It's such a wonderful time of year. It's easily my favorite time of year. There's so many traditions and things about Christmas that I've carried for so long. And I don't just love Christmas because I'm a Christian and I recognize the reason for the season being the birth of Jesus Christ, but there's more to it than that. I love Christmas because I get to spend time with other people. I get to buy gifts for friends and family and see the smiles on their faces when they get them. There's nothing that makes me happier than giving a gift to someone that I care about. And sure, I like getting gifts too. That's always great. I love that. But there is a problem with me getting gifts, and it's this. Every year, either late November or early December, my family always does the same thing. I get a text or a message from my parents saying, "All right, you two, Lark, Raven, you need to make your Christmas list and send it to us so that we know what to get you." And that's always hard for me to do. Not because I'm picky or because I want a lot of things. No, it's actually the opposite. When I was a little kid, yeah, I'd make a super long list and I'd expect Santa to fill it. But nowadays, now that I'm older, the things that I want are also the things I need, and I don't need for that much right now. I mean, okay, technically there are things that I would really, really like, but there are also things that I know I can't get. For example, my mom and dad will say, "Now, Raven, why don't you make a list of things you want?" I want a new car. I know you can't get that. It's not financially possible. I want a girlfriend. I want to be in a happy, stable relationship where I know the girl won't cheat on me, or I know that I will be able to do a lot with this girl, that we will think very similarly. I'd like a relationship. Well, I know you can't provide that. That's something I need to wait for and search for myself, and I'm not in a good position to get that. See what I mean? There are things that I want that I know I can't get because they're not realistic right now or not feasible right now, and everything else are things that I either already have or don't necessarily need. I guess I'd like a better kitchen, or I'd like a bigger apartment, but there are things that I just can't get. And because of this problem where I don't need for much, but the things I want aren't feasible, I don't always know what to put on a Christmas list, so that makes things very difficult. However, when it comes to For Honor, that's not quite as difficult. I love For Honor, I really do. And last year, I made a Christmas list to Ubi-Claus to fill some things out for me, to make some things happen in For Honor that I don't necessarily need because I like For Honor the way it is. But I'd love to see these things. And some of these things I think are very, very feasible. So, just like last year, join me everybody as I write out my Christmas list to Ubi-Claus. And maybe you guys will agree with me, maybe you won't. Let me know down in the comments section as we go through this. They're not in any specific order, everybody. I'm just putting these down as they come to me. So, here we go. So first up, Ubi-Claus. I've been a good boy this year, a good Raven this year, you know. I think the first thing I'd like are some new maps. I'd love some new maps for the game. I know, time constraints, lots of money goes into it. I get it, I understand, but take a break from making some heroes maybe. Look, I get it, we love our heroes. Heroes are fun, but I think we can take a year-long break from heroes and just focus on new maps, specifically Dominion and Breach maps, since those are the two most popular game modes. Let's get some new Dominion maps. Maybe one of them can be a Wulin-based one. That'd be cool. Maybe some more Knight-based ones. I'd love one in a castle, just saying. Maybe some Breach maps, a Breach map, for the Knights or for the Samurai, those would be kind of cool. The Vikings have 2 now, so why not 2 for the Knights, 2 for the Wulin, 2 for the Samurai? That'd be kind of neat. So let's make some new maps, Ubi-Claus. I think that'd be a good step in the right direction. But okay, I get it, we gotta add new heroes because that's what everyone wants, right? All right, so if we had to make a new hero, I think I'd like, I know, a Wulin hero with a Jian sword. Let's face it, guys, the Jian sword, the gentleman's sword, or some people know it as the Mulan sword because it's what Mulan famously carried.
Excuse me, where do I sign in? I see you have a sword. I have one too. They're very manly and tough.
It's one of the most stereotypical and classic weapons of Chinese literature and of art. So why haven't we gotten a Wulin who carries that yet? I feel like that would kind of be an obvious. It's kind of like, hey, we're making a samurai hero. What should we give them? Probably a katana. Nah, why give them that? Like, it is the most stereotypical weapon of the samurai. Come on, we don't need to give him that. It's the same thing here. What would a Chinese warrior probably carry? A Jian? Nah, I wouldn't carry one of those. Are you kidding? I don't know. I feel like that'd be a good idea. So let's make a Wulin hero with a Jian sword. I think that'd be a great idea. Let's do that, guys. That'd be great. Okay, so other than that, other than a hero or a map, you know what? I asked for this last year and we didn't get it this year. So let's ask for it again this year. I want to see Valkyrie's face. Look, guys, Ubi-Claus. I love what you did with Peacekeeper and Nobushi. You showed us their pretty faces. You took off the mask, and let me be very clear. Peacekeeper, nice. Nobushi, nice. Nuxia, nice. Shaman and Berserker, we can work with it. We can negotiate on that one. But I'd really like to see Valkyrie's face. I'd really like that. And you know what? While we're at it, Warmonger's face too. Let's see Warmonger's face too. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see War Mommy's face. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of neat. I just know that behind Valkyrie's mask, though, behind her helmet, is a beautiful young woman who's waiting to show the world just how tough she is and that she can speak Japanese. I just know it. I'm ready to see that face. All right, so that's one. Okay, so next up, let's see. We were talking about the ladies. You know what? That's actually a good point. Next up, Ubi-Claus, I want to lose some of the gender locks. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people complain about gender locking all the time. Like, people were losing their mind over pirate. Like, why is pirate gender-locked woman? I wanted my Jack Sparrow pirate. I wanted my Blackbeard pirate. I didn't lose my mind over that because I knew what you were doing. You were making pirate a reference to a very specific historical pirate. And I'm actually proud of you for that, Ubisoft. I get that. I understand it, and I support you on it. So I'm fine with that. But I also feel like there are some heroes who, they kind of look good as the other gender. Like, for example, everyone was talking about how Warmonger would make a great dude. Like, how about a war daddy, not just a war mommy? And I agree with that. I think that'd be really cool. And on the opposite end of that, how about a law mommy? And how about a female Lawbringer? There's been some art for that. And then, of course, a female Highlander would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty neat. Maybe a female warlord. That'd be kind of cool. I could see that. Everyone talks about female Shugoki. I mean, we could definitely see that, couldn't we? I wouldn't mind that. Then, of course, there's also female Shaolin. There are female Shaolin monks out there, or Shaolin nuns, I suppose. So we could definitely do that. Maybe we could do a female Griffin. Because maybe we don't need just Griffin to be holding cross. Maybe there's an order of Griffins. Maybe you could have some of that. Like, I don't know. Get creative with it. Now, I understand. The obvious answer to that is this. I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, see, the problem is we'd have to pay for female or male voice actors to come in and voice more stuff. And it seems like a lot of money just to change some character models, just to change their hip size or bust size or anything like that. And you know what? That's fair. I get that. You got constraints, you got problems. But that's why this list isn't about things I need. It's about things I like. So, Ubi-Claus, I've been a good raven this year. Let's try to get some stuff we like, huh? Just some small stuff. Trust me, you will have a lot of fans for this. I'm just letting you know. All right, moving on from that, we were talking about Lawbringer. I'd like to bring him up again. Could we give Lawbringer some help, please? I love Lawbringer. He's one of my favorite heroes. I love playing as him, but gosh, the poor dude only has one opener, and it's pretty easily anticipated. I'm sorry. I just feel like he needs a little bit more than that. He's the only hero that I can think of who needs hyper armor who has none. He's the most heavily armored character, and he has no hyper armor? I don't know, man. Something ain't right about that. Just something doesn't work about that for me. But, I don't know. Lawbringer, I feel like he could use some help. So maybe we could get some help for Lawbringer on that. Speaking of heroes who need help, Medjay. Could we fix his dual axe stance a little bit? His pole stance is fine. Nothing really wrong with that. I like it. It's pretty good for anti-ganking measures. I think it's been useful. But I feel almost no need to switch to the dual axe stance. Almost none. The framing is a little odd. The animation doesn't really feel right most of the time. And it just feels like a berserker, only the only thing about it is that it has an infinite chain that's light, heavy, like a Shaolin, and the final heavy is always unblockable. I don't know. I feel like he needs a little bit extra. Maybe make it so that his secondary light is undodgeable, or maybe make it so that the frames are a little bit longer, or he has a little bit wider range, or something. I don't know. I can't say for certain what's missing about it. I just know that right now, I don't know, Medjay's dual axe stance just doesn't work as well, so that could be something to fix up. But it's not a big deal. That's just a minor one that I would say, a minor issue. Now let's get to the bigger issues. Could we just remove Kyoshin's everything? Just saying, I feel like Kyoshin is kind of a joke. Don't get me wrong, a good joke. I like some aspects of Kyoshin. I think he's a good joke, but still a joke. Now what's the joke? The joke is that before Kyoshin came out, what was the big complaint about Orochi? His light spam. Everyone hated his light spam. Get rid of Orochi's light spam. And Ubi-Claus and your infinite wisdom, you said, ho, 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 you want to get rid of Orochi's light spam? Very well. We got rid of his light spam. Poof, a little magic for you right there. We said, that's great, Ubi-Claus. Thank you so much. And you said you had a new hero for us? That's right. Say hello to Light Spam the character. Because Kyoshin is light spam the character. I'm half convinced that's what it means in Japanese to be a Kyoshin. That's part of the training. Now you might think, come on, Raven, aren't you being a little bit too hard to Kyoshin? I don't think I am. Let's take a look at this character. Not only does his second light that come out always be of undodgeable quality, now granted his heavy is too, but do you know very many Kyoshins who throw that undodgeable heavy? Most are that undodgeable light at the end. Not only are their lights crush and counter capable, and not only do they have an all guard that allows them to go into a triple light combo, a triple light uninterruptible combo where they can throw out 3 lights in tandem with each other, but they also have the ability to go into an overhead unblockable, which if landed allows them to go into their light span. And with the right feats, their lights grant them their bleed and healing capabilities. Granted, I know that their heavies can too with those feats, but why even bother with the heavies when you know the lights are going to land a lot easier because, again, light spam the character. Now, some people are going to say, Raven, you're being too hard on Kyoshin. We don't have any problems with him. We think he's fine. And okay, granted, I'll give that to you. Your opinion has been heard, but my voice has been heard too. And I want to know, does anyone else agree with me about that? Do y'all think that Kyoshin is kind of an odd choice after making a big deal about Orochi's light spam? We just released this light spam character. The only thing is, I just haven't heard as many people complain about it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks this. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks it's kind of funny. That's just me though, so Ubisoft, take this one with a grain of salt, I guess. Like, see how you feel about that one. But if you agree with me, hit me up in the comment section, guys. I'd love some agreement on that one, or at least some clarity on that. And then for the last one, you know, everyone was complaining about how Jormungandr needs help. And granted, he could, but we're all ignoring the real sad character in the room. You know, I was walking down the street just the other day, and I saw this poor little Chinese girl just sitting on the side of the road, snow falling, you know, sitting in literally inches of snow up to her knees, and she was holding on to her little hook swords, and dangling from the end of the hook was just a little bag with just coins in it. A little bit of coins in it. And she was looking up at every passerby saying, please, just a rework, sir. God help the poor. God help the Nuxia. Give the Nuxia a rework. And I wanted to give her one, but I couldn't. Nuxia, you need some help. Nuxia needs help. Guys, you don't even know. This poor creature, this poor assassin. She's the only assassin whose deflect does not guarantee damage. It can be blocked. And no unblockables, no undodgeables, no enhanced, no ability to apply pressure. The only thing that Nuxia has to her favor is her trap attacks, because they're unique to her. But they are so easily countered most of the time by simply throwing a light. The problem Nuxia has is that she is a character who is outdated by the meta. The current meta of For Honor, by the creator's own admission, is ganking. To gank and overwhelm through numbers or to counter gank. Well, Nuxia and her feats exist only to be a duelist. She is all about fighting one-on-one, and her feats show this. Her feats, God, her feats. People often say, come on, Nuxia may not be the best hero necessarily, but she has decent feats. Does she? Her first feat makes it so that she gets a damage buff if she's fighting one-on-one. Given the fact that this meta is all about, ganking, that's very rarely going to happen. And if it does happen, it won't last very long. Her second feat is Caltrops, which would be a good feat because it causes damage to your opponent if they run through it or move through it. But it's also bad because it hurts your allies as well. So that means you can't just drop it in Zone B and let it hurt the enemy minions and help you like a Fire Flask. Yes, that's right. You can throw a Fire Flask into Zone B and your minions will be fine. But drop Caltrops, it kills all the minions. And not only that, but even if you drop Caltrops in a ganking situation, it doesn't do enough damage to really justify it. It would only really hurt those who are very, very low on health. So, and then it would push away your own allies, so they're not going to help you. Your third feat makes it so you can slow down one enemy so they can't run away from you. That's very rarely going to happen if they're ganking you already. They're not going to try to run away from you. And if they are running away, it's usually because, probably because someone came to back them up and they're getting some distance so that they can go heal, and that backup is going to keep you distracted. And then your last feat, your fourth feat, is just a corruption feat, like Warmonger's first feat. The only difference is you don't necessarily need to touch them with your weapon to make it activate. But considering that Warmonger can use her corruption feat to heal, to apply extra damage, and has a fourth feat that allows her to corrupt multiple people at once, Nuxia's fourth feat is just a lesser version of Warmonger's first feat. Nuxia. How have people ignored you for so long? Is it because no one plays you? Maybe because no one plays you, no one knows. Ubi-Claus. I know this list was about things I want, not what I need. But this isn't about what I need. It's about what Nuxia needs. You look at that girl in the eyes, and you tell me she doesn't need help. You tell me that. Moving on. Next on the list, let's see. I think what we really need is a rehash to all the current factions. Don't get me wrong, I still want the Knights, Vikings, Samurai, Wulan, and Outlanders, but I think we need to move some people around. For example, let's take Pirate and move her over to the Wulan. Let's face it, guys, that's what she is. She's a Chinese pirate. Put her with the Wulan. Oh, but she doesn't exactly ally with the Wulan. She doesn't work for them. Can you really say Hitsukiri works for the Samurai, since she kills other Samurai? Can you say the Kyoshin works for the Samurai, since they'll work with anybody? Can you say Warmonger works for the Knights? Can you really say Warmonger does that? Can you say Jormungandr works for the Vikings? I mean, let's be clear, not everyone who's on a faction exactly allies with them. So let's put Pirate with the Wulan, then take Griffin and move him over to the Outlanders, because I feel like Griffin doesn't really ally with the Knights. He kind of traveled around the world, got to experience other cultures, and now he kind of works with the Outlanders. I think it would have been cool if he was the one who probably brought those Outlanders over, because he met them before through his travels. I think that would have been a good idea. And then as for Warmonger, yeah, you can put her in the Outlanders too if you want, because she doesn't really ally with anyone other than her own interests, so why put her with the Knights? If we do that, then I think we'd actually be able to even out the scores a little bit. The Knights would have the same number of people, the Samurai would have the same number of people, well, no, they'd have Kyoshin. Okay, so let's move Warmonger back to the Knights, give the Vikings one more character, move Pirate over, and then give the Wulan one more character, or two more characters, either way. And then I think we'll be good. I think that'll balance everything out. Unless I'm wrong. Math was never my strong suit. If I have that wrong, someone let me know in comments and remind me that math was not something I taught in school. Yep, that's what we'll do. But either way, I feel like if we realign things, we can lose some of these complaints of, Ubisoft hates the Vikings! Ubisoft hates the Vikings! They say after winning the faction war again. So yeah, yes, Ubisoft hates the Vikings. Just totally, guys. Totally. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Vikings are tough to make weapons for. Now, granted, I could come up with some Viking weapon designs. How about a Scythe hero for the Vikings? Or maybe an axe and shield combo for the Viking hero. I could see you doing that. But no, yes, you're right. That Ubisoft doesn't like the Vikings. That's why they win all the faction wars. You're right. Just saying. But anyway, I feel like if we realign some of these factions, it'll come out a lot better. I think that we can see some great changes and a few losses of complaint. All right, and then the last one. I think this will be the last one I add to the list. Ubisoft, or Ubi-Claus, sorry. I've been a good Raven this year. Done a lot of good things. And I know that we're not great friends. We haven't done a whole lot together. I'd love it if you, noticed me from time to time, threw some bread my way. But it's okay. I never complain. I never whine about why you don't notice me. Although I do defend some of your decisions that others won't. I was one of the ones who stood up for the pirate choice. I said the pirate looked awesome, and I really liked what they brought to the table. I was one of the ones who kept championing the idea that this game was still alive. In fact, my whole channel was built on the idea that this game was not dead, but very much alive. And I have a whole community now that not only agrees with this, but has helped reinforce that position. So I'm not asking for much, but maybe if you added a hero skin to Lawbringer that looked like the Raven Lord, I feel like that'd be a kind of a nice thing to do. Make me happy. Or maybe if you wanted to add another female hero skin, I guess you could give Peacekeeper a female Raven Lord skin. It's not a big deal. I put a smile on my face. I'm smiling right now. Keep that smile going, Ubi-Claus. Don't let it fade. Don't let the smile fade. Anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this Christmas list. What do you think? Did you like all the stuff that I added to this? Do you think it was do you think that all these were good ideas? Do you think we'd change any? What would you put on your For Honor Christmas list? What would you like to see? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to check out the Teespring store with the limited stuff on there. Would love for you to help support this channel and allow me to continue making these awesome videos. And as always, guys, I will see you in my next video. Take care.